It's the Late Night Build with Steve Lorello. Special guest, the Reverend Geek, David Neal. A peer review demo by Greg Holmes. Musical guest, David Neal. And your host, the bald, bearded builder himself, Michael Jolley.
Welcome everyone to the Late Night Build. It's episode part 2. I don't know. I barely know English. Better stick with that. I'm so glad you're here. I'm really excited about tonight's show. I'm excited you joined us. There's so much we need to get to. I'm just a little overwhelmed by it all. Now, you might say, Michael, what do you have in store for us this week? Well, let me tell you. I'm not going to tell you. Let's talk about some news, okay? Before we get to the show, I think we have a great show lined up. We'll get to that. Patience. Listen, it's a virtue. Calm down. Let's talk about some news. So a lot of stuff happened this week. We had MS Build, right? A lot of other online events, right? Good stuff. Well on you. Good on you. Whatever you say. I don't know the phrases. English. Words. You enjoy fun. So, Build, everybody's getting on the action. Everybody likes open source. Microsoft has released, I think, like QBasic to be open source, like from the 80s. Open sourced all that code. Of course, they'd already like open sourced, Calculator? Not to be outdone. Apple open sourced nothing. But, some people. We have a great night in store. I am a little out of breath because I had to run 2 feet to the microphone, and clearly I don't run. I mean, you don't get a belly like this running more than 2 feet. I tell you that. Listen, we have a great guest. We have the Reverend Geek himself, David Neal, in the house. I don't have a sound effect for but I need one. He's also going to do an original song as our musical guest. No, wait. I mean, that should have been an applause. There's nothing funny about that. We also have a hack-a-thon going on through the whole duration of the show tonight. We're focusing on .NET in honor of MS Build. So there you go. And then we've got a peer review demo later on in the show where we're going to see some cool code. There's so much to do, so little time. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you're here. Let's kick it off. Let's get started. We'll be right back after this.
People think unified communications are boring, but with Vonage, you can chat with Deborah, conference call, share a doc, call the boss. Yeah, basically all that in one platform.
Awesome. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here with us. Guess what? I've got a bunch of friends here with me. This is Steve Lorello. Steve is our .NET developer advocate at Vonage. Say hello, Steve.
Hey, everyone. How are you?
We are peachy. Thank you for asking, Steve. Cool. Down below me here, I've got Chris Gargata. I probably butchered that, Chris. I apologize. And Lee Williams. Lee made it easy for me with the name today. Lee and Chris are competing in our hackathon. This is Deploy on Friday, because even though you're not supposed to deploy on Friday, we gonna. Yeah, so Steve, I'm really interested. Tell me what's going on tonight. What are we doing?
All right, so I decided to shake things up a bit for this week. So we're going to have a bit of a hacking challenge here. And the 2 contestants are going to have 4 primary tasks and 3 bonus tasks, each of which are worth a set amount of points. Now, they can use whatever technologies they like. .NET's probably for the best to do what they're going to have to do. but essentially they're going to be sending an SMS to me. They're going to be receiving an SMS from me and reading and sending back the code that I send them to me. They're going to make a phone call to me. They're going to receive a phone call from me. And then they also have 3 bonus assignments. The bonus assignments are displaying incoming text messages to a web page in real time. They're not allowed to poll. They can record or receive phone call, and they can read DTMF input from the phone call. Now, each of these tasks is worth the same amount of points. The original 4, the primary 4, are each worth 25 points. Displaying an incoming text message as it comes in, that's worth 10 points, and the last 2 are worth 5. And now the winner is whoever has the most points at the end.
That's easy, but that requires us to do math, Steve.
I'm good enough at math. I can do it.
Okay. I hope you're not waiting on me to do it because I'm not keeping up with it. So let me announce our prize for the evening. Our lucky winner is going to get a Raspberry Pi 4 desktop kit. That's the Pi 4, that's the case, that's all the cables, that's a keyboard, and I think a mouse even with it, SD card, all that good stuff that you'd need. And then in addition to that, we're also going to do the 7-inch Raspberry Pi touchscreen display. So you can create all kinds of cool things and perhaps come back and demo what you've done so we can enjoy. So yeah, Chris, you can find Chris at The Toe Frog on Twitter. You can find Lee at LeeMW1977. Guys, I'm really glad you're here. I wish you the best of luck. We're going to send you on your merry way to start building like a boss. Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys. Good luck, Steve. So with that comes a special time in our show. We like to call it compile time. You know what compile time is, right? You're building your app, and if it takes any length of time, that's when you go get a coffee. That's when you go chat with somebody at the water cooler. Of course, we're all stuck at home right now, so the water cooler is basically your sink. But we're going to have some compile time and sit down and chat with an amazing guest, the Reverend Geek himself, Mr. David Neal. It's him. It's really him. It's Mr. Neal. Welcome, Mr. David Neal.
Hey, Michael. I lost your audio. I'm not hearing what you're saying.
That's because I'm lip reading. Did you mute me? Am I muted? Breaker 19. Come in, Reverend Geek.
Hey, I can hear you
There
now.
we go.
Wow.
Awesome. You know what? Here's how we handle things like this. Welcome, everybody. We've got a great special guest for you. I'm so excited to be joined by the very awesome Reverend Geek himself, David Neal. Welcome, David.
Hey. I'm excited to be here.
That's what we call fake post. We can't fix it in post, so we pretend we did. So how are you doing?
I am doing extremely well. Despite all the circumstances and everything, I have a whole lot to be thankful for, and I am excited to be on your show. Thanks for having me.
Well, don't get your hopes up, okay? I don't want, if someone's told you good things about it, don't believe the hype. It's a train wreck. That's why everybody watches. They want to see the wreck. You can't look away, essentially.
Okay, well, I don't mind a good freak show either.
Then welcome. Yeah, you're absolutely right about being, thankful. We're really certainly blessed to, I think, of course, both of us still have jobs in this time. families are relatively healthy. Everybody's doing good. It's raining outside here and I'm dry. So that's something to be thankful for sure.
Yeah.
This week has been kind of weird. I've seen a lot of posts like on Twitter and some other social media platforms where people are just really down in the dumps. I don't know if it's, they've been locked up for so long or what. Even when we weren't, locked down, you hear a lot about people going through like imposter syndrome and, just little bouts of feeling they don't stack up or they're inadequate in some way. Have you seen a lot of that going around lately?
Yeah, well, a lot of us developers, especially those of us in technology, this profession seems to attract a lot of people who are what we would call introverts, socially outcast, or we're usually used to being kind of isolated and so forth. But the truth is, even if we are introverted, we're wired to be in community with others. We're wired to be to have social interactions and to communicate with others, and we get a lot of energy from other people. And so to be isolated for this long, man, it wears people down. It wears even the hardest core introvert like myself. I am 100% introvert. But that's how, being introverted versus extrovert is how you get your energy. So I've been plenty of opportunity to be energized as far as like being able to geek out about things and learn new stuff. But at the same time, really missing getting to talk with folks. Like last week, this past Monday, I did my very first stream, and it was when I got through, I kept thinking about it and wondered, it was just something special about it, and I think it's like some of that kind of thing that I enjoy when I'm giving a talk with people is the chat that's happening while you're giving a stream, and you're getting to interact with folks. And it was an encouragement to me, because there were a lot of people who I ended up interacting through that event. But to go back to what you were saying about imposter syndrome, yeah, that's certainly a byproduct of, we're living isolated from each other. And so the things that we see on social media like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram or whatever, those are people's highlights. That's their highlight reel. And if we compare ourselves to everyone else's highlight reel, then we're like, man, I don't measure up. I'm not doing all that amazing stuff. So what I try to do personally is I try to be transparent with things that I post. I try to let people know that, I'm human and I make mistakes just like everybody else. And yesterday I posted this silly drawing of a certificate of incompletion. Like I award myself this certificate of failure because I have superior inability to accomplish anything, left to myself. It's like, man, I just so much of the time I don't have the discipline or the motivation to follow through on a lot of things. I have great ideas. I have things that I want to accomplish, but man, I sure do. I don't meet those goals, those ideas, those ideals that I come up with, and I make a lot of mistakes. And I think one thing that I like to tell people about imposter syndrome is that, one, it's it's a universal kind of feeling. There's only a few weirdos out there who don't feel imposter syndrome on a regular basis, and those can fend for themselves. But the rest of us, again, it's like, comparing everything that we do, our behind the scenes, to the highlights of everybody else, and knowing that you as an individual, whoever you are that may be watching this or whatever, your life has value. You have amazing potential to impact others. You have amazing skills that you were born with, or skills and passions that you can develop. And it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn. Every successful person out there is standing on a burning trash heap of mistakes. Mistakes don't mean that you're a failure. Mistakes means that you have an opportunity to learn and to get better at whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah, I think a couple things you said there really stand out with me. I had heard someone mention that before, that social media, Twitter, Instagram, all those things are someone else's highlight reel, right? It's real easy, especially as we're isolated in these times, to compare yourself. It's easy when we're not isolated in these times, but it seems like, if we're not isolated and you go into the office, you see everyone else kind of stumbling sometimes, struggling, debugging something for hours on end. But right now we don't see that, and we're only seeing these highlight reels. So it really kind of accentuates, what's going on around us. And that's one thing you were talking about, streaming on Twitch. It's one reason I love Twitch versus, say, like YouTube. YouTube is a highlight reel. I never watch a developer on YouTube that writes bad code.
All the mistakes are edited
exactly
out.
That's exactly right. It's their highlight reel. They never miss a semicolon. All those sorts. They never forget to run npm install before they start their app. And whereas Twitch, it's all the warts and everything. It's really important to kind of realize that as you're looking at Twitter and as you're looking at Instagram, all the social media platforms, that's the case. Yeah. And I loved they also when you talked about everyone being special. That's one of the things that really resonates with me. I totally agree with you that everyone is unique in their own way, and working together, all those unique pieces really kind of fit together when we come together. It's pretty amazing to see how teams who are all kind of the same personality, you almost got clones with that same person. Seeing those teams, relative to teams that are very diverse as far as everything. I mean, I'm just personalities even. It's amazing how those teams seem to excel as people, pick up the slack, and we pick up the slack for each other, right? Where you have deficiencies, this one has strengths, and vice versa.
Yep.
It's great. I love that.
Yeah, and even just from a technology standpoint, when you have a diverse set of skills, people from different backgrounds, to the point where you've got ideas coming in from people having experience with different platforms, different languages, different technologies that they have built up in their careers. Those kinds of teams that have that a mix of lots of different backgrounds creates a great ground for creative solutions. Yeah. Because when you're working with someone who has used a completely different technology than you have, and there's patterns and frameworks and practices and things for that platform that you've not seen before, and it's like, man, you can learn so much when you get a group of people together who come from lots of different backgrounds. And of course it goes far beyond technology. Mm-hmm. When you got a diverse set of people who come from different cultures and families and all that just adds even more dynamic to some of the creative things that you can do together as a team.
Yeah, I agree. And even different experience levels, I have found, really makes a difference. If everyone's kind of senior level, everyone kind of thinks they know how it's done. But it's fascinating. Like, there's a lot of times I've worked on projects with, people who have been developing for 20 and 30 years, and then people who have been developing for months to a few years. And they come in almost without those preconceived notions that we've developed over decades of development. So when they come in with, hey, why don't we do X or Y? It can oftentimes be like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. I've tried to, it's one of the reasons why I love being in technology is that things are evolving and changing all the time. You're always going to be new to something. And there's always opportunity to learn. And I've always felt like even if you're staying in the same technology, when you got someone who is new to the team or new to their career, that's an opportunity for you to learn as well. Mm-hmm. It always works both ways. It's not like, I'm going to be the senior and I'm going to mentor this person and I'm just always feeding them with information and wisdom and, all this stuff, I've got it all figured out. I can help this person. It's two ways every time. It's they're teaching me as much as I'm teaching them.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. That's, it reminds me, of several situations I've experienced in the past. One of the things I've enjoyed, this is kind of like a little story. When I started at Vonage, the first thing I did when I came on board was just going through the basic tutorials for our APIs. And it's just stuff that, you'd think that this is kind of, you might think, this is kind of beneath you. I can build a hello world app, that kind of thing. But it's interesting to get those experiences. In that case, I was a new person coming in. So independent of experience level, it's really interesting to always go back to those things that you think are basic and kind of re-review. It's amazing how you can learn like things you've just forgotten over that time frame.
Yeah. I've had many roles in my career so far, and I've been in senior level roles. I've even been, vice president or a chief, whatever. And for different startups and so forth, I've managed teams and different levels of things. But similar to what you're talking about, when I joined Okta a couple of years ago, I didn't have any background experience up to that point with doing security, with doing things like OAuth and OpenID Connect. I was completely brand new to all that. And it was very humbling, I gotta say, because, not having any of that knowledge ahead of time and having to learn all of it and try to speak with authority on these subjects, I had to learn a lot, and I'm still learning a lot. Yeah. I feel like I've only scratched the surface of the things that I need to master in order to be able to talk with authority or confidence about these the subjects that I'm expected to know to be in the role that I'm in.
Yeah, that is some complex stuff. I've looked at it a few times, and every time it's just, there's so much information and there's so much changing in that field. It's a lot, to say the least.
Yep.
That's great. So, I was watching one of your talks you gave. I think you've given it a few times, and I've watched the replays. I think of all of them, but it's the talk you gave. I think it's "You Are Awesome." Was that the name of it?
Yeah, that's one of the talks that I give.
I would love if you could kind of give us like the TLDR on that one, because I say I've watched it several times. I mean it. I've watched it like I think it wasn't that conference. Two or three replays of those talks I've gotten a chance to watch, and I watch it every time, even though I've seen it. And it's just it's such a powerful talk that I'd love for you to kind of share some of that with us.
Yeah, I'll try to summarize it.
Okay, your time's up. No, I'm kidding.
I highly encourage you to, whoever's watching this, to go and find a recording of that, because it's very near and dear to my heart, and I feel very privileged to be able to deliver that talk. And I've cherished every opportunity I've had to be able to share that with people in technology at some of the conferences that I've spoken. So the gist of the talk is that, first of all, as we mentioned before, I truly believe that everyone has unique gifts and talents and unique experiences that have, I believe we're here on Earth for a reason, and the things that we can do, we all have the opportunity and the responsibility to make an impact on people around us. So the first part of that message is that, first of all, you are awesome. You may not know it yet or realize it, but I try to speak truth to people about you are loved, you have value, you are you belong, you are not a failure, and all those kinds of messages. And then the second part is that you're not just here to be awesome, like, great, I am awesome. No, you also have a responsibility to share your awesomeness with others. That we are designed to live in community, and we all can benefit from the things that you have that you can offer. And it goes back to that imposter syndrome, that you may think that, well, my voice is not that important, or the things that I've done are not that important, or everybody knows what I know. Why would I share that, or do things like blog or create open source, or get involved in the community, or be a public speaker, or do any of those kinds of things where I'm sharing the things that I know. And what I tell people is that you have something that no one else has, and that is your experience. There's no one on earth who has had the same experience that you have, and have learned the things that you've learned in the way that you've learned them. And that is an opportunity for you to have a positive impact on many other people, just by sharing the things that you're learning, the things that you're growing in, because there's always going to be someone behind you who is not as far along as you. Even if you're a beginner at something, you have something that you can share that can help others who are also starting their journey. And then the closing message that I always give for all of my talks is that not only are you awesome and that you have the ability to impact folks, I truly believe that all of us have an amazing opportunity to make an impact on others. And one of the stories that I share is the story of how I got into technology in the first place. And that was, I had an aunt and uncle that were, by most standards, they were well off, and they gave me a computer when I was young. They gave me a TRS-80, and that set me down a path of a love for technology and gadgets and programming. That box came with a computer and a disk drive, a cassette drive, and ribbon cables, and a dot matrix printer, and a book on Color Basic. And that's what set me on my journey. And I can point back to that and say, man, who knows where I would be today if that happened, if that didn't happen. Yeah. You know, they made such an impact on me without even realizing it. You know, I didn't think anything much about it at the time, right? You know, it's only me looking back now going, holy cow, that was like the pivotal thing that happened in my life. And what I tell people is that you don't know if the thing that you do, like a word of encouragement or a little time, investment of your time, or just sitting down with someone and talking, things through about what's going on in their life, just taking the time to listen, that could be the catalyst that launches someone else on their lifelong journey of their livelihood, their passions, the things that they, all the things. So don't miss an opportunity where you could have an impact like that on someone.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It really, in the same vein, I look back at my career. Everything that happened in my career and since a young age has just been these events, like you're talking about. They just happen up. You think it's luck or whatever, or chance, but for whatever reason, people believing in you, taking a chance on you, giving you an opportunity, providing you with something to spark curiosity. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, man, I can point to a previous manager in particular. When I got started in my career, my tech career, I was not doing programming. I was, programming was something it was a skill that I had learned and enjoyed doing. That's what I kind of wanted to do. But in order for me to make a living, to support my young family, I was doing IT. I was back in the good old NetWare days and introducing Windows NT and managing, the enterprise networks and, working on people's computers and going around and rebooting computers for people. I was doing all the IT things, resetting passwords. There was a manager that I had who kind of picked up on the things that I was interested in. And he saw an opportunity. He's like, oh, well, it looks like, you've been helping people with, solving some problems, by, writing some utilities or something. He says, we got there's a project where, we need some software built, and, I'd like for you to do it. And he, that was the turning point in my career where I started to make that transition from being 100% IT to being a software developer. And man, I owe a whole lot to him for allowing me the opportunity to go down that path. Hey, Michael, I think you got muted again.
I did. Yeah, because I'm a professional. That's very similar though to my story. I was working on a computer, but it was very much just reporting kind of stuff. It wasn't even an IT. It was just doing reports and a lot of things that, to be honest, should have been automated, but it was, too early, I guess, in the realm of computers to automate stuff like that. And they gave me the freedom to be able to, since I was working in Excel and Access a lot, or really Excel a lot, to experiment, I guess, with like VBA. And so I started playing with that to automate what I was working on. because, I'm a lazy developer. I want to press as many buttons as possible.
Hey, 100%. Lazy developers are the best.
Yeah,
developers.
that's right. So and because of that, I did one or two things, and then some managers and folks upline from me saw that and were like, "Hey, let's, you really improved your workflow. Can you start going around to the whole company and improving workflows?" And then that just blossomed into more and more things, from VBA to VB to .NET to C# to JavaScript to taking over the world. No. So I mean, it's. I think if we all look back, we can all find people like that planted a seed, or just sowed something into our lives that really changed the trajectory for us.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, David, for spending some time with us today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
I know you're going to be back shortly to play us a song. And I'm looking forward to that. No one else has heard it, but I've heard it. I actually have been thinking up some lyrics for it, so I'm going to have to get with you.
Okay.
Yeah, so, before you go, we actually we get to give a giveaway. Give a giveaway. We first need to learn how to speak English. But once we know how to speak English, then we can have a giveaway. So this is for all of our friends in chat. I'm going to ask a question. The first one to answer it correctly wins. I think it's a Vonage coupon code, like for 20 euros, I think. 20 euros of credit on the Vonage APIs. And just so you know, the answer can be found in our developer portal. They're telling me in chat, 20 euros is correct. There you go. I got that right. I may not unmute myself, but I know it's 20 euros for the coupon code. So here's your question, chat. What is the name of the voice one would select while using the text-to-speech feature in our voice API if you wanted the voice to match a Swedish language? Male or female answers are allowed. I'll repeat that. I should have probably had it up on the screen. What is the name of the voice one would select while using the text-to-speech feature in our voice API if you wanted the voice to match a Swedish language? This is a legit question. You're going to have to dive into some voice API documentation to come up with that one. In the meantime, there's been a few comments in chat I'm going to share with you, David. Bobby.
It's not a Muppet character,
It is
is it?
not. David, actually, one of them is. one of the two answers is a Muppet character. That's great. I can't believe you said that. So here's some comments from chat. I am not myself says, all I want is beard tips for the rest of the episode. Reverend Geek, tell us your secrets.
So I kept my beard about your length for most of my life, and it wasn't until about 4 years ago I decided, you know what, I'm gonna push through this awkwardness of where it gets a little bit longer and it gets all scratchy and itchy. I just want to see what it looks like, to actually grow it out. And once I got past that stage, I got to the point of no return, and I've had it ever since. But the biggest tip I can give anyone out there who wants to grow a longer beard, who's capable of growing a longer beard, maybe if you're not capable, you can just buy one on Amazon, and that will work for you. One of my sons actually has a knitted Viking beard.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. Anyway, when you grow out your beard, one of the things that helped me, because my hair is naturally really, really curly and wiry. So I use a hair dryer. After I shower, I blow dry my beard so it's straighter. Otherwise, it would look like Bozo the Clown on my chin. So that's my tip.
That's awesome. The original jerk, great handle, says, "Are Bald Beard Builder and Reverend Geek in the same room? Same blue glow. Both have guitars. Hashtag just saying."
Oh, I guess I better change my color so that so that we're not so much alike.
So it's funny you say that. I mean, I've got mine too. I could change my color, except that this isn't really my background. This is a video of my background as it was some odd hours ago.
Nice.
So I could hit the button all day and it's not going to change on the screen. The next one was from I Am Not Myself. Okay. I see what you did here. This is in reference to you saying everyone is here for a reason. Everyone's got a purpose. I'm Not Myself says, "Is that reason hot chicken? I think my reason might be hot chicken."
Well, I got something here. One of my favorite hot chicken places of all time. I don't know if the camera will get in focus for it, but this is a Hattie B's.
Hattie B's,
I can
good.
get 10%. I can get 10% off an order if I wear this into a Hattie B's store.
Can you really? That's amazing.
Yep. So Hattie B's is my absolute favorite Nashville Hot Chicken, and I used to live in Nashville. I live in Georgia now, but I lived in Nashville for about 20 years, and Nashville Hot Chicken is my absolute favorite, and Hattie B's is the best. So there are some Nashville Hot Chicken now available outside of Nashville. There's not a whole lot of them, but Hattie B's has expanded. There's one in Atlanta. There's one in Birmingham.
Yeah, I say I've got one down the road from me.
Yeah, there's so they're starting to expand, which is fantastic because there's actually one in Las Vegas. I discovered. I was there for the AWS conference, and somebody said, "Well, we're going to go get some hot chicken." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." It's nothing like Nashville. He says, "Well, I think it's that same place you were talking about, Hattie B's." Like, no, Hattie B's is in Nashville. Like, no, there's one here in Las Vegas. So, turns out they were right.
Yeah, we've got one in Birmingham. There's another one here in Birmingham I think it's just local to us. It's called Eugene's Hot Chicken. So if you ever come over to Birmingham, you can try it out and compare. It's a fave of mine, but it may be because I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
I am freely available to admit my bias to all things Birmingham. Okay, so Steve, who's leading our hackathon, sent a message that says Hattie B's is the best. It's the greatest. So he felt the urge to stop helping people on the hackathon so that he could pronounce the greatness of Hattie B's. Thanks for that, Steve. Let's see. Did anybody put in an answer for the quiz? I didn't even. Ooh, we don't have a winner. Oh, TBD Gamer came in hot. Oscar. Ooh, look at that. Alva from Foghorn. A little late, Foghorn. TBD Gamer wins with Oscar. Yeah, so it is a Muppet. One of them is a Muppet character, Oscar. Congratulations, TBD Gamer. Somebody will reach out to you with your €20 coupon code. David, again, thanks so much for hanging out with us. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Check out David's Twitch stream. It's twitch.tv/Reverend Geek. I actually caught it. Was it last week? Yeah. It was this week, wasn't it?
It was
it was earlier this
Yep.
week. Yeah, fantastic. I actually missed about half of it. Went back and watched it later. Was literally in tears laughing, and called my wife into my office and like, "You've got to watch this." And she was in tears as well. She loved it. So it was really good. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I had no idea. Well, the next one's going to be on since Monday's a holiday. I'm going to do my next stream Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And I'm thinking about keeping with a sketch note and doodling theme, where I'm going to start teaching people how to do sketch notes.
That's awesome. Well, I know we can reach you.
And maybe maybe I'll start another stream for either coding or music or something like that.
So I know we can reach you on Twitter at Reverend Geek. How else can everyone find you?
Yeah, I'm the most active on Twitter. I'm Reverend Geek everywhere on all the different platforms. I also have reverendgeek.com is my website where you can get my blog, and I've got a store on there for like stickers and the illustrations that I draw and t-shirts and things like that.
Awesome. That's great. David, have a great rest of your day. Hope you have a great weekend. And I'll
thank you so
look
much.
forward to checking you out next Tuesday.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. That was awesome. David is totally amazing. I have been a follower and / fanboy of his for a long time. I've actually had him do an avatar of me. It's amazing what he does, and the illustrations he does on his stream are fantastic. If you're not aware, he also he does like illustrations of like talks that he attends. Like he's like, I guess, sketching the notes or something of the talk. It's really cool. I wish I was that talented. I've gotten all the apps to do it, but there is a bit of talent that's involved. Mine, it looks like a bunch of chickens. Each got their own color pen, and we let them walk over the pad. Or my 4-year-old got it. Either one. It's pretty even. With that, hey, let's check in with our hackathon friends. Hello, Breaker 19. Come in, good buddies.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. Yeah, so we do have points up on the board already.
Ooh.
So, everything's progressing quite nicely. It's interesting because it's a natural experiment to see how well our documentation works, because I'm trying to be as hands-off as possible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so essentially I just told them, hey, here's my number. Here's the docs website. Have some fun. Let's see how this goes. And like I said, we already have some points on the board already. And it's funny, you're talking about imposter syndrome and rooting from your own experience, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this is actually really applicable. So I set this challenge up, and I said to myself, it's like, all right, let's do some interesting stuff that you can do with the Vonage APIs, and let's see how far folks can get with it. And I said, all right, here's 4 tasks that are pretty normal to do, and I'm curious, what's it going to look like when someone comes into our into developer.expo.com for the first time and says, all right, let me explore this and let me see how to use it, especially when they're just given a challenge to work off of.
Yeah.
And I think it's been really interesting so far. And I'm going to be interested to talk with the 2 contestants at the end to see, how our docs worked and kind of what we can improve on.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. I have really experienced it this week. I did some recordings with different vendors around the .NET ecosystem, and had to record those and edit those videos. And I gotta tell you, I've seen people do that before. I really just now stand in total awe and wonder of how they do that. When I look at, let's just even say Reverend Geek, when I watch his talks, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I should even give talks anymore, because there's no way I'm ever going to give a talk that good. And there's several people like that. I mean, there's, you've seen them, Steve. I mean, there's some people give talks and you're like, oh my gosh, if I was in church, I'd convert right now, pass the collection plate around, I'm in. And some people have that kind of just, I don't know if air is not the right word, but ability to communicate that way. I have been fighting a little bit of imposter syndrome this week, but luckily we all get through it and realize we're all special. Like he said, it's a lot of fun. I'm curious, Steve, Where's Zero?
Zero's just kind of wandering around the house right now. He's not here.
So I'm gonna let you tell everybody who Zero is, so they won't think I'm crazy.
So Zero, if you guys were watching the top of the show here, and when the intro credits were rolling, you probably saw a picture of a strange man standing over a chair waving a dog's hand. Well, the strange man was me, and the dog was my dog Zero. So he's a whippet.
That's awesome. And you've used him. I've seen Zero in several, or at least one of your talks. And then I think did you do a blog post with him as well?
He's a recurring character.
It needs to just be Steve and Zero.
I think I got a question the last time I gave a talk was whether I have another dog named One, and the answer to that's actually no. We do have a Roomba that we named One, so we have Zero as the dog, and One is the Roomba.
The Roomba, that's funny. Awesome. Well, I'm going to let you get back to Lee and Chris, and good luck, Chris and Lee. Hope you, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say there. It was really powerful. You would have been like in awe, just like as if Reverend Geek had given a talk right now. You'd have been like, you know, but no, it's just me. All right. See you, Steve. And next up is going to be our musical guest. We're actually very blessed today because not only is Reverend Geek our special guest interview, he is also our musical guest. So without further ado, I do, you do, who do the voodoo that you do. And I apologize. I hope someone thought that was funny. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Reverend Geek himself, David Neal, performing an original Sunny Side Up.
This is a song I wrote many years ago called Sunny Side Up, dedicated to my dad. That's the way he liked his eggs.
API, Alligator Party Island, All Pineapple Igloo, Animated Penguin Ice Cream. Good APIs, but Vonage's APIs help developers build communications into their apps, which is cooler than those. Except for maybe the Igloo.
Welcome back. I am joined by one of our developer advocates at Vonage. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Greg Holmes. Welcome, Greg.
Hi there, how are you doing?
I am just peachy. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too shabby, thank you.
Great. So I understand you have got a cool demo that you are ready to show off. Can you tell us about what you're doing?
Yeah, sure. So we've being a developer educator and within the experienced team, we get a great opportunity to build, learn something new around once every quarter as like an internal hackathon. And in that time, you get a 2-day period where you build it, you learn, you create, and then you share. So for this time, this is my first. I'm just over 2 months into being a developer educator at Vonage. I decided to try and use something that's in on the subject of something that everyone is currently suffering from, which is obviously COVID-19. And I spent quite a while trying to figure out what I could use that's kind of a benefit for me learning how to use various APIs within Vonage.
Mm-hmm.
And also how would it benefit someone in society or in our villages or in our towns. And I got this idea, which was while speaking to my nan. She has I speak to my nan most days when I have the opportunity, but luckily for her, she has 12 grandchildren, a handful of great grandchildren. So she has plenty of people to talk to, but there's a lot of people that are elderly or lonely that don't have that many people to talk to. And while we were all in lockdown, they must be going nuts. They must be not nuts. Sorry, that's the wrong word. But they must be going stir crazy where they actually can't talk to anyone. They have no one to talk to. They have no updates. They just have no contact with the outside world. So my idea was to build a befriending service which made use of several parts of our API. And this befriending service is basically what I'm going to be introducing to people. So I'm going to, I'll show you. There is actually only one part of the system that anyone actually needs to use in a website. I'm just going to share my screen.
Greg, are you using the mic on your headset?
Yeah, why?
Can you pull it out from your collar a little bit? It's a case.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's much better. It's sliding in and out as you move around, and you're going to a turtle, and then you come back out, and then you're going to a turtle, and then you come back out. Awesome.
So did you catch basically?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What I'd said?
I think I did. I think everybody's up to date, and we'll let you go through it. I'm gonna turn it over to you and give you. So you're sharing your screen, right? Yeah. So let's go over there, and I'll let you have at it. Enjoy.
Cool. Cheers. Okay, so I've got it prepared so that I don't forget the URL. But I'm using I've built this service in Symfony, which is PHP. I'm probably going to get a load of boos right now, but who cares? And I'm using ngrok obviously to handle the incoming and outgoing phone calls using Vonage. Obviously for a standard URL. So I'm going to load this page, and this is basically just this is it. This is the only page that someone signing up to this service would see. And they, ignore the age part. I've now decided I actually don't like that one, so I'm probably going to remove it when I write up the tutorial. So if I put in my name, I'm going to paste the number because I bought the phone today for demo purposes, and I actually don't know the number for. So I'm just going to paste that. And I'm going to put where I am right now, which is Tiptree in Essex. So basically, the name is obviously for contact purposes. The phone number you need to put in, otherwise you're not going to get a phone call. And the town and county or state is basically how the system will geolocate you and hopefully put you in contact with someone within the geographic, close to you geographically. And the country is partly for that, but also so that the system can automatically internationalize your number so that it knows who to call or what country you're calling. You're going to receive the call from. So if I click sign up, it's going to take you to a verification page. And the first thing you're going to do, you're going to need to do is see a text message. I've set up, there's different steps to the verification process. So You can have it where you can receive one text message. You can have it where you could receive three text messages. If, for example, you miss the first one or you don't get it in time, you get another one. Or you can have it where you receive two text messages, one after the other, a few minutes apart, and then at the end, a phone call. There are other possibilities in the way. And as you can see by the options, I've tested this a few times. So my verification code is 3956. And once you've submitted this makes a request to Vonage to verify that the person's phone number is valid. And then you, on the success, you get taken to this page, which basically confirms your verification and explains that you've been subscribed to the befriending service, and automatically at a set time for this purpose, I put 2 p.m., but it could be anything that's set in the system. You will receive a phone call. Another person that's geographically close to you will receive the phone call, and then you're going to get put together into a conference together where you get to have your a nice chinwag for that day. And as we're both verified, I'm going to run a command. As I say, I've been using Docker, so I'm just going to run the cron job Symphony command through Docker. And I've got two phones in front of me, but my main phone really gets a terrible signal here, so I won't actually receive a phone call here. So I'm going to use my new demo phone, and my partner who's in the room next door doesn't know it, but she's going to receive a phone call too. I signed her up for it earlier. She doesn't know. If I run match users, should start receiving a phone call. I'm going to put this close to the microphone so you can hear it. I'll put it on speakerphone. She is very quiet. I'm very sorry, but she is really quiet. She basically asked if you would enter 1 for yes or 2 for no to be connected. And now I'm being connected, so I'm hoping. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Thank you. How are you?
You recognise the number? Oh, no, you don't reckon it's a different number. I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm just on Twitch with several people. Let me just increase my text. I'm not sure what I've done there. Doing very well, thank you. You're now connected through the befriending service, so will you be my friend?
I'll think about it.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go now, and I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye. Actually, could you do me a favour, please? Can I borrow your phone, please? Okay, can you bring it to me? Thank you. So, because the speakerphone on this seems to be quite bad when it's the call person, the automated system, I'm going to use this other phone, the Samsung Galaxy, for the next step of the process. If I can zoom in. So basically, the next step of the process is to, which would happen hours later, is an automated call that calls each person back around an automated call that calls the person back and asks them for their feedback regarding that call, whether it's successful, whether they enjoyed it, whether they would like to talk to that person again, and whether they would like to have another call tomorrow. So for this example, I'm just going to change something quick. I'll hide the number first. And with this first person, no, not with this. Actually, who cares? I'm just going to run the command. So if I run my next command, which is feedback. So again, it will be another cron job. It's a command. So right now, who's bigger? Yes. Both numbers are going to receive a call. I'm just going to ignore one and answer the other. But there's one on speakerphone.
Friending service. Could you please provide feedback for your call today? enter 1 for yes or 2 for no.
So you 1 for yes. I'd like to give
Thank
feedback.
you. Was the call successful? Please enter 1 for yes or 2 for no.
It was successful.
Would you like to have another call tomorrow? Please enter 1 for yes or 2 for no.
Now, if you choose 1 for yes, it asks you another question. No, it would end it.
Would you like to talk to this person again? Please enter 1 for yes or 2 for no.
I'd say it was quite an enjoyable conversation, so I'm going to click 1 again.
Thank you for your feedback. Goodbye.
And then, really, that's the end of it. I'm going to be on Lauren Learns Things, which is on this channel for the next 2 Tuesdays, taking her through the process of how I built this demo in 2 days. I'm going to be I'm currently writing up a tutorial, which would be on our blog as well. And following that, I'm hoping that I would then go on to further improve the system, make it more robust, make a few more features, possibly change the registration around to be text message registration. I'm not sure yet. And then hopefully my aim is to try to talk to people in my community. So that it's going to be quite difficult because obviously everyone's a bit locked away,
right.
But I'm going to try and get people testing it. And that's it, really.
That's really cool. I really appreciate you sharing that with us, Greg. I'm going to assume that was not your nan that you called.
No, that was my partner. It's not. Just sounded a bit young.
your nan is aging very well, let me tell you.
If you heard my nan, she's got a very, very, very strong French accent. So I'm not sure many people would have understood it.
That's okay. I have a very strong Alabama accent, and no one understands me either. It works out.
What did you say?
Yeah, exactly. So we've got one more quiz for chat while you're here with us. I'm going to ask it. I'll put it in Twitch chat as well. The question is, what response code do you receive from the Vonage Verify API requests? Sorry, let me start over. Again, Alabama. What response code do you receive from Verify API requests when you are trying to send more than the maximum of 30 requests per second? This is a tough one. This is a little bit deep in the documentation, but let me just give you a secret. Go to the developer documentation and do a search for verify response. Yep. Nope. Bobby, you are incorrect. It's not 400. What response code do you receive from Verify API requests when you are trying to send more than the maximum amount of 30 requests per second? Yeah. I had to actually really go and look for this one. It was a little deep. It's the Verify API. If you do a search for Verify response, maybe I shouldn't have said that, Greg. I feel like I just
it's kind of on the subject of the demo that I just made with the Verify API. So
it's like
quite a good question.
It's like I just barely. Ooh, nope. Nine is a number that you get a response, but that's not the right. This is in the case of sending more than the maximum of 30 requests. I think I'm questioning it now. He put 9, but oh no. You so Bobby, if you looked at 9, you went too far. Scroll on back up, champ. Yeah, we're digging deep for these questions today. We're making you earn that 20 euros of Vonage credit. Oh yeah. Do you know the answer, Greg? We don't say it, but yeah, I didn't know the answer either. I had to go look it up. That's not that's really like a throttling response, I guess. If you're sending more than the maximum of 30 requests per second, yeah, 1. Bobby, you win. I am not myself. Bring in the heat. He's in there looking through the docs. These are tough ones. I had to go look for that one because it's not like, the response codes are like in the docs. They're there. It was actually the search when you do verify response. It's really easy. Yeah, so Bobby, congratulations. You are the proud new owner of a Vonage API coupon code for 20 euros.
Well done, Bobby.
Well done. Well done. Greg, thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was really cool. I can't
Cheers, thank you. It's quite enjoyable.
I can't decide if I want to use it to just like communicate with my grandmother or troll my grandmother.
Why not do both?
That's true. That's true. She may not even know it's me. Oh, the plans.
You won't recognize your number.
The plans I have. The plans I have. Anyway, thanks so much, Greg. We'll check back in with our Deploy on Friday people. I'll see you next time, Greg.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers, bye.
Paging Steve Lorello. Paging Steve Lorello.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
You know, I feel like I missed a great opportunity to go like full on megaphone voice. You know, like,
Oh, yeah?
I don't know.
Wait, I'm hearing
Maybe
that.
not. Maybe not. Oh, well. So Steve, how's it going?
It's going. Is it time to declare a winner?
It is time to declare a winner. Who has done it?
So the winner is, drum roll please, Chris.
Chris. So
Congratulations, Chris.
so that's awesome. Tell us how far along. What was the score? Can we talk about the score?
So it was 25-0, unfortunately. I think there's some interesting things in our docs I think I might want to work out.
Lee is debugging stuff for us. He's finding work for Steve to do.
It's been a very interesting natural experiment.
No, that's perfect.
But I believe that Lee. So Lee is based in the UK, and Chris is, I believe, in the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So when it allocated numbers to them initially, I believe it gave Lee a UK number and it gave Chris a US number. Yeah. Now I believe that the problem is that Lee needed to go and acquire a US based number and use that to send me a text message. I would have thought it would be international, but perhaps it's not.
So Lee was kind of hamstrung.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little tricky. That's a little tricky. I'm checking with our judges. Please hold. I should have had my sound effect for the thing. Yeah. The judges have confirmed that it was not quite a fair fight with the issue there with the UK number. So, Chris, you win nothing. No, I'm kidding. No, the judges have confirmed because Lee was a little hamstrung. You're both winners. So both of you are going to be getting the Raspberry Pi 4 desktop bundle and the 7-inch Raspberry Pi. Did I say Raspberry Pi? Raspberry Pi 4 desktop bundle. Yeah. And the Raspberry Pi 7-inch touchscreen. I've actually got the 7-inch touchscreen. It's really cool. Really cool. Chris and Lee, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a ton of fun.
Lee, I think Lee's muted. I've rubbed off on Lee. My mute is contagious. Awesome.
I've got too many mute buttons. But thank you. Yeah, it's been great.
That's exactly my problem, Lee. I've got like 3 or 4 mute buttons on my desk here, and I can't remember which one I pushed and didn't push. And it seems like it would make sense if I pushed the same one every time, but you know.
It doesn't seem to work that way.
No, it never does. It never does.
Problem.
Yeah. So congratulations to both of you. Thanks so much for participating with us and hanging out for the last, couple hours. We're going to wrap this thing up for the night. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's close it out. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Steve, for helping out with us. We'll catch you all.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, we'll catch you everybody back in 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining us today. That hack, or that peer review thing was really cool, right? Call your grandmothers today. There's a lot going on. Call your grandpas. Call your mom. Don't forget her. Call dad. Dad never gets the respect. Jeez, Dad. Call all those that you know might be shut in. We hope you're doing well in this situation. As always, we are glad you're here. We hope you come back in 2 weeks. You can always check out all the awesome streams on this channel. So I promise you the rest of them are much better than this. So please give the channel a follow and check them out. We also, if you like to write blog posts and if you like to make money, we have the Developer Spotlight, where we let you write blog posts for us. And I want to say we pay you, they can tell you in chat exactly. It's like $400 or $500 US. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so check that out. That's right. Lolo Coding is sharing the link in chat right now. 500 big ones. That's right. Also, join our VONAGEDEV community chat. Not our chat. Join our Slack, our community Slack. Woo! It's Friday. I should have known better than to deploy this show on Friday. Thanks again, everybody, for showing up, for hanging out with us. Thank you, Reverend Geek, for your performance and for the interview. So awesome talking to you. Steve, thank you for helping out. Greg, for the great demo. Thanks to all of our mods for helping out. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. It's actually about 30 minutes from 5 where I am, but it's close enough for me. We'll catch you all back in 2 weeks. Adieu. I'm gonna go practice that. Adieu.